Yo, 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 welcome to another edition of the Double D's podcast. We are your hosts, Damian Deshawn and D of D's Corner. What's going on, my brother? How you doing today?
I'm good, bro. What's going on? See, my camera just went fuzzy out the blue.
Yeah, I
There
see
we
it's a
go.
little
There we
fuzzy,
go.
man. There we go. We
There we
clear,
go.
man. So we gonna get into it, man. We breaking down the NFC South. That is the Panthers, Falcons, Saints, and the Bucks. But before we get into that, man, I saw something on Twitter that we could start out with, and it was asking a question about of the three quarterbacks of Anthony Richardson, Bryce Young, and Will Levis, which one will have the breakout sophomore year, basically their second year. I'll give my opinion quickly. I know you got yours being a Colts fan. Uh um I pretty much think it's a two-man race, to be honest with you. And it's between Will Levis and Johnson. I think Levis has a lot more weapons that are more still having D Hop there and still having I can't remember the tight end's name, but still having a couple more weapons on the
I can't
perimeter.
pronounce his last name.
Yeah, I can't pronounce his name either, but still having a couple more weapons here and there, more so than what Bryce has. I think Bryce still needs another year. I think he this is his year to kind of come in to be his rookie year. I think what the expectation of his rookie year last year, you may see that this year, and then he'll progress forward going forward. But what do you say about it, man? I know you got your favorite there.
Well, it ain't just. It's not just that. Just based off everything that you said, Bryce and Will played more last year, so you got film on
Yeah,
them.
yeah,
Anthony didn't play, and then he didn't play with Jonathan Taylor. I think they played a handful of snaps together. Because
hmm
Jonathan Taylor had his injury issues and all that. So I mean, when you look at the teams that they brought in, both Bryce and Levis are now under new head coaches, new
hmm
offensive coordinators. Anthony Richardson's got all of his guys back, like the core guys that were there last year are there. Shane's
hmm
still there. So I would say, and it's not just because I'm a Colts fan, just
hmm
being unbiased. I think it's a two-man race as well. Will Levis had issues in college with his decision making. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
I don't know that you could coach that, you know what I'm saying, out of him.
hmm
And like his receiving core, D Hop's older, but he is still D Hop.
yeah,
Calvin Ridley, I think Trevor Lawrence is a better quarterback than Will Levis.
hmm
Calvin Ridley, it wasn't like he was a world beater with the Jags. And then Tyler Boyd played with a quarterback who I think is better than Levis and Joe Burrow. And he
yeah,
knows the system and how it's supposed to go. So he might end up having the most receptions because he knows what he's doing the most. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna be that
yeah.
slot security blanket for him. So, but I think Anthony Richardson when it comes to that. I think Bryce is going. I think, like you said, when it comes to Bryce, since we're about to break down the Panthers, anyways,
hmm
I think Bryce is going to showcase what he was able to do some about at Alabama
hmm
because like now he has a solid offensive line in front of him. He's going to
hmm
have a young group of skill positions.
hmm
They traded for Deontay Johnson. Like last year, he didn't have an offensive line. His top wide receiver was aging Adam Thielen. So I
hmm
mean, what wasn't nothing that he could really do. They fired his head coach after the first, was it 4, 5, 6 games?
Yeah,
Like early
yeah,
in the
Frank.
season, he got
Yeah,
fired.
Frank Wright.
So I
Yeah,
mean, wasn't like he was in a suitable situation. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
I got you, man. I can agree. I can agree with that. But we're gonna go ahead and get into it, man. We're gonna start off with the Panthers. They open up week one at New England.
mhm.
And I'm thinking about that game. And I mean it is a 50-50 for me at this point, looking at the rosters, the roster talent and coaching, both new coaches, new movements, new
That's preseason.
quarterbacks. Was no, no, no. Oh, I do got preseason. That's my
Yeah, that's
bad.
preseason. That's
Yeah, I,
preseason.
I I jumped over it. That is my fault. They put it twice. That's what it was. So it's New
Yeah,
Orleans.
yeah,
They open up with New
yeah.
Orleans. Okay, that's my fault. It's New Orleans. I see now. I see that they got New Orleans then. So you know what? Now it's not a 50-50 game. I got I got New Orleans winning that one, man, just because of the maturity of the roster. We've already discussed them. It's an aging roster. They got some cap hell situations they're looking at and facing. but they're still as a team a lot better than where Carolina is at this point. I see that being a tight game early, and then New Orleans probably winning it by the third quarter and pulling away late in the fourth. And I'm not a blowout, but it'll be a comfortable win for them. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think I think with what the Panthers were able to gain offensively
Hmm.
this offseason through free agency and the draft, I feel like you lost a lot defensively.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like Jadeveon Clowney replacing Brian Burns, I don't think that's you know
Yeah,
I don't think those two equate to each other.
two different
Now
styles
Clowney
of
is good,
ends.
right?
Hmm.
Right.
Hmm.
Clowney's good against the run, but
Yeah.
they did lose Jeremy Chin in the secondary as well. So I mean,
Hmm.
their linebacking core is going to look different. So I think their defense is going to keep them out of games. But I'm
Hmm.
hoping for Bryce Young. I'm hoping for Bryce Young, man, that he's able to actually, you know what I'm saying, like
Show his
even if
strengths.
they're even, yeah,
Yeah.
even if they're losing, that he's able to show like the type of player he was
Hmm.
at Alabama. Like, you
I
know what I'm
mean,
saying? I guess show that he was worthy of being a first round pick, not
yeah.
the number one overall pick, if you will.
I mean, his biggest knock is his stature. I mean, his weight and his
But,
stature.
right.
I mean, his strengths are his improvisation and his anticipatory throws that he makes. He's accurate and he can
And
improvise.
he's
So if they
accurate.
can play to those strengths,
Yep.
and at his height, that means they're going to have to get him out of the pocket a little bit more, just to get him going. But it's going to be interesting to see. But I do got New Orleans winning that game, though.
Oh yeah, I do. I have the
Yeah,
Saints too. Now the
yeah.
coach, the reason why I feel like he should be doing well, he should do well offensively. Everything
Hmm.
that you said, I feel like they're going to try to showcase that they did a good job. This coach was the Buccaneers OC last year, and
Hmm.
that's kind of the things that they did with Baker. You know what I'm saying? Baker's a smaller quarterback in stature and whatnot, so that's
Yeah.
what I'm hoping. But you go ahead to week two.
Okay. Okay, we're going to week two. It's the Los Angeles Chargers. I'm gonna let you lead off with this one. Who you got here?
Chargers.
You got the
I
Chargers.
think that I think the Chargers for what they don't have offensively, and it's going to be early on in the season. So Bosa should be there, Mac should be there, Derwin
Hmm.
James should be there, Santi Samuel Jr. should be there. That's
Yeah.
just too much on defense, I think. And then with what they did offensively, adding to their offensive line and going to more of a bully ball with Greg Roman,
Hmm.
their OC,
Yeah.
they're gonna run the ball down the Panthers' throat.
Okay. So we're looking at 0-2 right now for Carolina at Las Vegas. 0-3.
At the Raiders,
Yeah,
0-3.
I got it too. I see them at 0-3, man. I really don't see any reason why to really break it down, other than I think Pierce is going to have the Raiders playing a physical style. They did play. One thing you can say about the Raiders last year that they play hard and they play for
Mm-hmm.
the old they play for the coach, play for each other kind of scenario. I didn't see quit in them. They play a physical style, gritty. So I mean, I don't think Carolina's going to match up with that, particularly because of the defensive. What you said about personnel and what they have on the side defensive side of the ball. I think Minshew will be enough with what they have. Devontae Adams, they'll
Yeah.
still be able to move the ball. So I don't see why the Raiders don't win this game. So we can go into week four once again. It's Cincinnati. They look
Cincinnati.
at they're looking at 0-4 right now. Too many weapons for a defense that's still trying to find itself in
Yep.
week four. And you still got Chase and Higgins. We know Higgins' situation. I just believe all of that'll be rectified by time it's time to kick off. Um,
One way or another, he gonna be playing.
one one way or another, it's Dunzo for them in week four. Now this is the game I look at and say, yeah, they probably get trounced in this game because there's
Yeah.
just too many weapons offensively for Cincinnati, and they just gonna wipe the floor with Carolina in that game.
Yeah.
We go to week five at Chicago. Now this is interesting.
This is.
This is interesting because I don't really know where to go. Part of me wants to say this is 50-50. And I know Chicago got a lot of weapons. You know, they got their outside weapons. They got Dunzier, they got Williams, but it's week five, and it's almost like you got two rookie quarterbacks playing right here in this situation. Except one of them has a lot more experience. You know, even though he had some situations, I could see where Carolina could get their first win here is a possibility, but I know we broke down and we talked about Chicago a little bit. I just leave it at 50-50. Either one of those teams could win that game. I don't know who really to go with. But what's your opinion, man?
Yeah, I think I would probably say the same thing, but the fact that it's at Chicago,
Yeah.
week 5, I feel like Chicago's defense, I feel like Chicago's roster is more of a complete roster than
Hmm.
Carolina. So I
Yeah.
think their defense will be able to make one or two plays. I think it'll be a close game, but I
Hmm.
think I would have to tip my hat towards the Bears in that one.
Okay. Yeah. The only reason I didn't outright say Chicago was that I know it's week 5 and Caleb still trying to get his feet and all of those things. So,
Yeah,
so that was the reason
yeah,
I was looking at that game
I
that
get
way.
it. I
Yeah.
get it. I just think that's a game. I think Caleb is still going to be struggling as a It's not like he's going to come in and everyone's going to think he's the second greatest quarterback in the. I don't think that's going to happen.
Yeah.
That particular game, I think Chicago's defense is the uh, unit that makes the play to win the game.
Okay. Week 6, Atlanta. I got Atlanta. I think they're gonna go as Cousins goes.
Hmm.
But in that situation, I think Atlanta once again you're looking at a team that has enough offensive weapons with Bijan, with was it Turner, Pitts. I mean it's
London,
basically London. Yeah, that's what I was trying to get London.
yeah,
Um, I just think they got enough. Their defense is still some question marks for Atlanta's defense, but they got enough defense to control that particular offense, and they got more than enough offensive weapons to expose what Carolina doesn't have on defense right now. So that's
yeah.
a loss, and I give Atlanta that win. At Washington, uh,
I
I'm gonna
I
give it
I'm
an
gonna
edge to
say
Washington.
this. That's what I was
I'm gonna
about to
give
say.
the edge
I'm
to
I'm gonna get
Washington.
I'm giving it to Washington. I just think Dan Quinn is gonna come and his. I think again. I think Washington is more of a complete team than the Panthers, and I think both teams have a lot of questions still on defense,
Mhm.
um, particularly. But we know what Dan Quinn can do coaching defense.
Yeah,
So again, this is a game where I think the defense will win the game or make the play, and I think
hmm
Washington has a better defense.
yeah. Schematics is where I'm picking to win out here. The
Yeah,
schemes on the
yeah.
offense and defensive side of the ball for Washington. At Denver, I think Carolina gets this game. I give
It's
Carolina
their
the edge
first
here.
win in my book.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
the
that's their
first win
first
in
win.
my book.
Yeah, that's the first win. There's no reason to explain
That
it.
yeah, Carolina's going to be in a situation where they might actually be playing decent football and still losing games. He's
Hmm.
got Bryson is the leader of the offense, and he's in his second year. Everyone
Yeah,
else is young players that they have to grow.
got you. New Orleans next. Do they split or does New Orleans beat them here at home? Hmm. I give New Orleans the edge still. I can't see any
I do
way.
too.
Yeah. Right now they're sitting with just one win in week 9. That's just
Yep.
my opinion. Then we move on to the Giants. They're at home against the Giants. Giants. I think the Giants just too much defense. Uh
But
Daniel Jones is the question, of course.
week 10, I don't think Daniel Jones will be playing week 10. I don't think he'll be playing. If he ain't hurt, it'll probably be Drew Lock. And in that particular situation, I don't feel like the Giants have enough offensive power. I
Yeah.
feel like the Panthers have more of the offense. The Giants have
Okay.
more of the defense. But for
Okay.
for as for as long as the Giants defense is going to be on the field, I
Hmm.
think the Panthers win. I think it'll be a closer
Okay.
game than people anticipate. But I got the Panthers in that. I
Okay.
don't have
So
the
we split.
Panthers with a lot of winnable games though.
No, but yeah. Then they get a bye week, week 11, man. They
Hmm.
can't lose to the bye week, so
Yeah,
or can they? Because they coming back after the bye week, and it ain't looking pretty for them. I mean, the next 3 weeks is we don't even have to go. They play Kansas City, that's an L. They play Tampa
L.
Bay, that's an L. They play Philadelphia at Philadelphia, that's an L. I don't
That's a
see any
L.
other way. Then they got Dallas week 15. It'd be interesting, but I still give it an L. It's still an L.
I think
It'll
it,
be
I think
interesting
that'll be
just
an
because
L.
of just because of what Dallas is facing right now.
Yeah.
Arizona. I think we gave Arizona when we broke down the West. We gave Arizona this W2.
Did we?
Yeah, I believe so. I believe we
Okay.
did give Arizona that W. Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay gets the sweep
At
here.
Tampa.
At Tampa, they get the
Yep.
sweep, and then at Atlanta, that's a sweep also.
I got you got them sweeping Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
I got I think Atlanta will be playing uh for an opportunity at the playoffs.
Yep.
And I think the Panthers will be playing hard as hell that game. I think I'm gonna give it to the Panthers. I got the
You're gonna get
Panthers
that one
having
to the
three.
Panthers.
I
Okay.
got the Panthers having 3 wins.
Okay. We're gonna move on then, bro. We're going to the Saints. All right. We head to New Orleans. We already gave them the win over Carolina.
Yep.
So we'll start at week 2 at Dallas. Interesting. I give Dallas the edge. I think the Saints lose this game, but it's closer than your cap people may think. I
Yeah.
think it's a closer game. Three. I could look at it between a 3 and 6 point kind of game.
Yeah. I was about to say if it's a Cowboys victory, I can see that. I
Yeah.
can see it more of a toss up because when we did this when we looked at the Cowboys roster and what
Mm-hmm.
they have. I think the Saints defensively, even though they are aging,
Mm-hmm.
the addition of Willie Gay gives them a young, athletic, fast linebacker. Sideline to
Mm-hmm.
sideline. They did pick up Chase Young. They
Mm-hmm.
have some younger corners. All Dallas has on offense right now is CeeDee Lamb, and he's not even in the building. So this could
Yeah.
be more. This could be more of a rusty situation where CeeDee Lamb's not necessarily in football shape.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because
They could
if
get
he doesn't
caught
come to
here.
camp,
Mm-hmm.
Dak's contract situation. So like all of Jerry Jones' business moves could affect them here,
Mm-hmm.
especially early on. So I could see the Saints winning, but I would give it to the Cowboys just based off what the Cowboys have done the last couple of years at home.
Yeah. Exactly. We move to Philadelphia in week 3. I give the Eagles that win. I
Same.
think it's at least a touchdown victory for the Eagles. Week 4 at Atlanta. Now I'm gonna
They
be
always play
honest. When we
Atlanta
get
well.
Yeah, they play them well. I see this being split game because they're at Atlanta. I give Atlanta this win, but I picked this as split because they always play each other well. I think they split here.
I think
Atlanta,
they'll
yeah,
split as well.
yeah, home and home. Atlanta wins at home.
Hmm.
New Orleans wins in New Orleans. That's what
Yeah,
I think. Week 5, Kansas City at Kansas City, no chance. I
not a
believe Kansas
chance.
City wins that game. Yeah. Then they come home and they got Tampa in New Orleans. Um, I give Tampa the win, but I very well could see this going the way similar to Atlanta, where they
Yeah,
split.
but yeah,
Hmm.
because they always play each other
Yeah,
physical.
yeah.
Mike Evans and Marshawn Lattimore are always at each other's heads.
Hmm.
So I can see
Yeah,
that the same thing. I can see them splitting.
yeah.
So I would give
So
this one.
to New
This is a
Orleans.
home game. I would give this to New Orleans.
Yeah. Denver, I give New Orleans the victory there week 7.
New Orleans.
Yeah. At the Chargers. Mm, that's interesting because it's a 50-50 for me at this point right now, even with the new
Hmm.
staff. I look at it as I'll say it's the same thing. It's still early enough in the season where you're still, like you said, you'll have a probably a still healthy Chargers team overall.
Yeah,
Um, I don't think points. This would be a low scoring game. I look at this as like
I
one
do
of your,
too.
yeah, 21, 24, 21, 21-17 kind of game. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I give the edge, to be honest with you, I'll give the edge to the Chargers just slightly because it's in LA. That's the only reason I'm giving them the edge. If not, if it was in New Orleans, I give New Orleans the edge there.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
I feel the same way. I don't think the Chargers are going to be. I think they're going to struggle early on.
mhm,
I
definitely.
think they're. Yeah, I think they're going to struggle in that first year of Harbaugh because I don't think he has everything that he wants yet.
Yeah, he ain't got all his personnel, not
Yeah,
at what he wants. So he's probably still going to build in those trenches. He's gonna probably get him a tight end or something in the draft. Keep adding on there, getting physical. But we can move on to week 9. I can't remember. We had week 9 Carolina. Didn't we give the Saints this win? Didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah, we gave Saints this win at Carolina. And
we split them with the
Atlanta,
Falcons.
yeah, we split them with the Falcons, so we already got that split. They got Cleveland at home. Cleveland. I think it's
Yeah,
just too much defense for Cleveland, and the running game for Cleveland alone should give Carolina some fits. That's the
yes, it
physicality
should.
up front in the trenches.
Yes,
I don't see any reason why not to say anything else about that. Week 12 is a bye week for the Saints. Then they're at home against the Rams. I think we hit the Rams when we broke down the West.
Rams,
Yeah,
Rams.
Rams there. At Giants, what you got?
I give the Saints that.
You get the Saints that? Okay. Yeah, I think it's
Daniel Jones turns the ball over too much if he's playing.
uh-huh.
Drew Lock ain't what really no better. So
Yeah. Washington at home in week 15. I give the Saints the edge here. I give them the edge here. I know it's scheme,
yeah,
but I think their personnel is Saints personnel is still better, even though it's because it's veteran. So they still
you're
better
right,
talent right
right.
now still on that team. Yeah. And you still got a rookie quarterback
Yeah,
going up against a veteran defense.
and he coming back to his college hometown, so I can
Yeah.
see him trying to put on the show, but
Yeah.
it ain't gonna work out for him.
Nope. At Green Bay, Green Bay.
L, yep.
L. I get at the Green Bay. I don't think that's gonna be close.
Out of me either.
Yeah. Las Vegas at home, week 17. Woo,
I can
boy.
see I can
I
see
can
the
see the
Raiders
Saints.
coming in and winning. You can
You
see the
think the Raiders
Saints?
can? I could see this as a 50-50. That's why I'm
Yeah.
looking at it. I could see the Saints, but you can justify a reason the Raiders get this game. For the very
Yeah.
reason we'd already mentioned the physicality. That's gonna be a physical game, I believe. It's gonna be a
Mm-hmm.
close, physical, tight game. Yeah. So I leave that at 50-50. You got the Raiders, I got the Saints. At Tampa, we said
I got
we
Tampa.
said we said split, didn't we? So
Split, yeah.
yeah, Tampa got it there. Easy. Okay, so we move on, and we're gonna go to the Falcons now. We break down the Falcons schedule. We know all the things, ins and outs, and new additions. Hold on, I'm trying to bring up the schedule here, man. It's delaying a little bit.
They got a
There
tough
we go.
they got a tough first 3 weeks.
Yeah, they. Oh Lord,
Tough
yes.
first 3 weeks,
Regular
boy.
season, they open up with Pittsburgh. I got them losing to Pittsburgh.
I do too.
I got them losing to Pittsburgh. Week 1. Week 2 at Philadelphia. Got them losing to
Another
Philly.
L.
Yeah.
Another L.
Ooh, they don't. Yeah, they're gonna rebound late instead of early. Kansas City,
Mm-hmm.
they lose to Kansas City.
Yep.
Then we said they split. So here they get New Orleans. So they get them at home. That's their first victory.
I say first win.
Yeah, this is where it gets interesting how we put them against Tampa Bay, because this is pretty much the way I look at the division. It's Tampa and then Atlanta.
I would say same exact
Mhm.
thing. Same
Yeah,
exact thing.
it's a two-team race. So Atlanta got some ground to make up because they've already lost 3 games. They just got their first win against New Orleans.
And then you gotta
So
come turn right around and
and
come
play
from
play
Sunday and
Tampa.
play on Thursday. And
Yeah,
from Sunday
against
to Thursday. So
yep. Did we say split? I think we did throw split out there, didn't we? Yeah, we threw
I
split
can
out,
see him split. I can see him splitting, and I can see Tampa
sweeping.
sweeping them. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'll give them a split. But I
Okay.
just think, like I said, with this particular game, I would give the nod to Tampa because you're coming from
Uh-huh.
Sunday to Thursday playing a divisional
Hmm.
game.
Yeah.
That's gonna be you're coming from back to back divisional games. So that's a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. So I give Tampa that edge there. Also, I think it'll be a reverse. Each team wins on the other home field. At
On the
Carolina,
road. Yeah,
yeah, on the road. Yeah.
yeah.
Carolina, they get that win there. So they're now sitting
Mm-hmm.
there with their okay, they got this second win.
Second win of the
Seattle.
season.
Yeah, Seattle. I think didn't we have Seattle winning this game when we did the West?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. It ain't looking good for them right now for Atlanta. At Tampa. This is where they get their next W. So they're at 3 wins right now.
3.
3 wins. They got to get grimy here now because they got to get some wins and squeak out.
Three
Atlanta
and
could
five.
surprise Dallas because they're at home. Atlanta could surprise the
I
Cowboys here.
I could see that happening too. I can
Yeah,
see
I
that
think Atlanta could get this win.
by week nine. By
Hmm.
week nine, Kirk Cousins should have a good rapport with Kyle Pitts, with Drake London. Bijan should be, on a roll. And
Hmm.
Dallas only has CD
Yeah,
offensively,
yeah, and
so they only have
what's the
CD.
name?
So
What's the name? Was it Hendershot? Tight end.
the tight end, yeah,
Yeah, they got a tight
Ferguson.
end too.
So
Ferguson and
but,
Hendershot. Yeah.
yeah, I would
At
get a
New
nod to. I
Orleans,
would get a nod.
I
So
give the
you're
nod
giving
to
that one
Atlanta in that
to
game. I'm giving
Atlanta? Okay,
I'm giving Atlanta the Dallas in week 9. Yeah, week 10 at New
okay.
Orleans. We said split. So this is a
We had
split game.
split
So
right.
they lose this game on the road to New Orleans. They turn around and they get Denver before they head to
I
the
think they
bye
get.
week.
Yeah,
They get that
I think
win
they get
there.
Denver.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Now it gets interesting because they're trying to get in the playoff race. They're behind because of the early games. They got the Chargers. I think they can get the Chargers just because of
I
the
think
the transition. Yeah, the transition of the rosters and where they're at. I
you're gonna
mean,
have
I think it'll be a tight game. Mm,
Raheem Morris is gonna have to do wonders on defense.
yeah,
He's gonna have to do wonders on defense, especially generating a pass rush.
yeah,
Um, Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell can kind of hold down that secondary,
hmm,
but with a corner, you can go to the opposite corner. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So like you
hmm,
can kind of neutralize that offensively depending on your play calling. So,
hmm,
but yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see the Falcons beating the Chargers.
yeah, by about a
I
field
can
goal.
actually see them going on a roll.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking at the schedule. I say they can make a roll. I got them at
Yeah.
Minnesota. I don't trust, like you said, we don't trust Minnesota's quarterbacks. All the skill
Nope.
position and weapons, they got enough talent on defense, but I just don't think that they could. The quarterback is going to be the reason. And Cousins got something to prove. I
And he
think,
coming back. Yep.
and he coming back. So I look at that as that's a win there. Then they're at Las Vegas. I think it's a scrappy win, but they get it. They get it for about a field goal, 6 points. They hold on to win. Beat
And it's an 8-day break.
Yep, 8-day break. Then they
So
week 16, the Giants. You got to beat
the
the Giants here.
Giants, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah, at home. They go on the run, man. All right, week 17 at the Commanders. They go on the run.
I could
I,
I could see
yeah,
Kirk coming back to Commanders and show them
yep.
something.
Show them something.
So
Do them dirty. Yeah, they go on the run here. Carolina. I got them beating Carolina here. Did we? I'm trying to
yep.
remember. We didn't have a split here. We had the Falcons
No, we didn't
sweeping
have a
Carolina.
split.
Yep.
Yep.
So we had them sweeping Carolina. So that's here's where it gets interesting. And that's it. So that's 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins, five. We got 6, 7 wins right there. 8 wins with Dallas. We got them splitting with Tampa, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's 9 wins. 10 wins with that first at Penn. Yeah, they can get 10 wins and squeak into the playoffs as a wild card.
Yep. I can
Yeah,
see it.
I could see that. I could see Atlanta getting to 10 wins because they darn near did it last year.
Yeah, and
They did.
they could possibly make the playoff with at 9 wins.
Yeah, at 9. It just
It's
depends.
not like the NFC's got a bunch of juggernaut teams.
Nope. Nope. And that leads us to Tampa, Tampa Bay Bucks. And we opening up with their first regular season game being the Commanders. Am I right there? Yes.
Yep.
They have the
Yep.
Commanders. They open up with Washington. I got it as a dub, bro. I got it as a dub, no doubt. I
Oh
just
yeah.
don't see defensively, offensively, they're just gonna have too much. At that point, it's the first game, for Quinn and that staff. I know be enemy's still there, right? So
No,
but
no,
no,
BM's in
no, he's gone.
UCLA now.
Yeah, he's in UCLA. I
Yeah,
forgot. So who did they
yeah,
bring in as their OC?
yeah.
I forgot he left. He left with the staff. They didn't
Kingsbury.
retain him. Kings. Oh yeah, man. They're gonna be trying to run an air
Cliff
raid.
Kingsbury.
We didn't
And they
already
don't have no
seen this don't
offensive
work.
line.
Yeah, we didn't already seen this
Todd
don't
Bowles
work.
gonna
I
rush the
forgot
hell out
about
of
that.
Jaden Daniels.
Okay, I forgot all about the transition with the enemy and then Kingsbury. Well, yeah, they get that win there. Tampa wins there. I think they lose to Detroit. I mean, we got Detroit as one of our
I think they
top
lose to
five teams in
Detroit.
the league. I got them losing to Detroit.
Hmm.
So right now they're 1-1. I got them beating Denver in week 3.
I do too. Denver's gonna
Yeah,
have a tough year.
yeah, they're gonna have a really hard year. They're gonna be drafting high, very high.
Very
Week
high.
week 4 at home against Philly. Ugh, this is a tight game. This is a game
I
I
think
see
so too.
Tampa scrapping for. Mhm.
I can see Tampa. I can see continuity here being Tampa's thing. With
Mhm.
Philly, they're gonna have a new OC and a new DC.
Mhm.
So I can see Tampa sneaking this in.
Mhm. So right now Tampa is sitting at 3-1 right now. Now they split with
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta. So
Split
we
with
gave
Atlanta,
it yeah, we get either way, we give it their let's just say they're 4-1 right now. Now they're at
and
New
then
Orleans.
we had them
We
splitting
had
with
them
them as well,
sweeping.
didn't we?
Yeah, we're splitting with them. Yeah. So
Split with
that's
them.
five. Let's just say 5-1 right now. So they're sitting
All right.
5-1, and they heading into week 7 against Baltimore. Ooh,
I'm
they
giving
get
that to
their second.
Baltimore.
Yeah, they get their second L. So they're sitting at 5-2 right now, and we said split, so that's 5-3. They lose to Atlanta
Five and
this.
three.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So week 9 at Kansas City.
At Kansas City, L.
I ain't gonna just give every team an L though, because I think
Mm.
Tampa got enough weapons to score on Kansas City. They got enough. They got enough
Kansas
running
City.
game. Yeah,
Kansas City is going to have a crazy year this year offensively. Now,
yeah.
Kansas City does have a wild schedule because they play, I
Hmm.
think, every day of the week except for Tuesday. But this is a Monday night game, primetime game at Kansas City.
Yeah,
Kansas City is about to go bombs over Baghdad with Xavier Worthy and Hollywood Brown.
you're
And
right.
they're gonna be able to run the ball with Pacheco. That's gonna open up the
And
underneath for Travis Kelsey.
intermediate. Yeah.
And by week 9, Rasheed Rice should be coming. He should be coming back from suspension too.
Okay. So they're sitting right now at what one? Let's see what we said. 5. They were 5-1 at one point. 5-2,
That's
five
five
and
and three.
three, 5-4. At
Five and
Kansas City
four.
makes them 5-4. Then they get
Five and
San
four.
Francisco at home in week 10. Mm. This is the game when we broke down the West that I said this is a game just like we looked at Kansas City, but Tampa's at home
Yeah.
on a Sunday. I see this as being, and they can somewhat match on the defensive side San Francisco's physicality on the trenches. You see what I'm saying? I think they got enough
Yeah.
young bodies on the D line that can match up well with what San Francisco likes to do physically with the run game. Um,
I just think that's gonna come. That's gonna be the game that comes down to Kyle Shanahan and them play calls. Because when
yeah,
Brock Purdy that first year he played against him when the Buck still had Tom, it was
yeah,
just the play call and the plays that he made. I
it's too
I just
much.
think yeah, I think Tampa's a solid team. I
Yeah.
don't think Tampa's going to be able to really compete with some of those top echelon teams. Like if they
Okay.
beat Philly, they're going to have to beat Philly early.
Okay. So they're sitting at 5-5 now. Okay.
Mhm.
Bye week, they get a bye week in week 11, and then they week 12 they head to New York. They get back on the winning side. They beat the Giants.
Yep,
They go to 6-5.
they could go,
Yeah.
they could go on a run here.
Yeah, they can go on the run with what I'm seeing. This is where they make their run to make the playoffs right here.
Yep,
At Carolina, that's a win. So they're sitting at seven
it's a
and
dub.
five. Yeah. Las Vegas, 8-5. That's think they get their win. They're at
Yep,
home. Yeah. At the Chargers. Ooh, week 15 and week 16. I'm gonna be honest. I think this is a split. They win one, lose one. I think they win
I
one.
feel the
Either
same
one of
way.
these next 2 weeks, they win one, lose one. Which one
I
you
feel the
got
same.
them
I
winning and which one you got them losing though?
I think they will beat Dallas. I think they will lose to the
The
Chargers.
Chargers. Okay,
Yeah,
I can see that. So they're sit. We said they were sitting at what 8-5, and then they eight.
mm,
It's 9-5. Then so 9-6 is what we're
nine and
looking at right
six.
now. 9-6. They go to 10-6 because they're gonna sweep Carolina,
Mm,
and then what a 10-7
10
because we
and
said they
7.
split. They split with New Orleans,
Yep.
so 10-7. So it's pretty much looks like it's a battle between them and Atlanta with 10 wins apiece,
Yep.
and it's going to factor in okay point differential and all of that stuff to who gets
Somebody
the
gonna have to
nod
sneak
as
out
the
that 11th win.
yeah somebody's going to have to get that 11th win to win the division. outright.
Yeah,
So we're looking at anywhere floor 11 wins, uh, between 11 and 10 wins tops for both for Atlanta and Tampa. I could see it. I could see it. Similar to last year, slightly better rosters, but similar
yep,
numbers just because of who they play outside of the division this year. If they had both up, both play Kansas City. Everybody plays the Eagles. You play the
yeah.
Cowboys. See what I'm saying? So it's an opportunity for an unexpected L or an expected L to come. And then you throw in Baltimore in there for Tampa, that makes it a challenging
Yeah,
for the schedule.
Tampa.
Yeah, it's
Now,
challenging.
some of the teams that Tampa plays in the AFC are some of the top echelon teams too. So,
Mm-hmm.
like, they're gonna have to compete. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You look at their schedule, they got Baltimore, Kansas City, and San Francisco. That's what, three of the top six teams?
Right.
Yeah, no, and then they got Detroit. So that's four of the top six teams in the league right now.
Yeah.
When you look at it, because they don't play Philly.
Well,
That's the only one they duck, right?
San Fran, Kansas City, Baltimore,
Uh-huh.
Philly,
Philly. Yeah, they do play
Detroit.
Philly and Detroit. So yeah, that's five. That's pretty much the top five teams
Yeah.
in the league if you want to look top five
Yeah.
rosters. Yeah, I mean,
Right.
only some top five out of the top 10. Yeah, top 10 rosters in the league. They have to play, so they're gonna earn the play. I picked them to make the playoffs. They're gonna earn that berth though. They're gonna
Yeah,
earn
oh,
it.
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah,
But I think that's what's going to help them when they go into specific games, like when they go against Dallas, because they are
mm,
battle tested. You know what I'm saying? We
hmm,
know Dallas. We know Dallas, not to make this a Dallas thing, but we know Dallas has struggled against playoff teams.
yeah,
So we know Tampa's going to come out. Tampa's going to run the ball. You still got Baker. Baker will be the main question is how is he going to play now that he's gotten
yeah.
paid? Is he going to be the more relaxed Baker? Or is he going to be the guy with the chip on his shoulder, Baker?
Gotcha. I can understand that. Well, we broke down
So,
the schedule, but I wanted to ask you a quick question. We transition the Ayuk situation. He's
mhm.
not at camp. He is working out individually. I know he posted some stuff on social media or something about he's getting prepared, but obviously it's like CD, it's like T
Mhm.
Higgins. You're gonna have your receivers that want their money. The receiver position is pretty much, I heard today, and I can kind of agree, the receiver position is kind of overtaking the pass rusher as the second most important or third most important position in football behind the quarterback and what's still the left tackle. I mean, then it's the wide
Mhm.
receiver. They've now taken over that high dollar position and pretty much take the money the running backs used to get.
But I seen another thing that if they're not careful, what's going to happen to the wide receivers? So the guys who are going to get paid now, like Jamar Chase and all them, you
Hmm.
better get paid while you can. You better get paid while you can, because if you're not one of them top guys, they're going to be able to. There was I think nine first round wide receivers this year, or
Yeah,
something like that. It was a crazy number of first round wide
it was.
receivers. Like
Mhm.
you're not gonna have. There's 32 teams. Every team's not gonna have a wide receiver to jump the market, jump the market, jump the market,
Hmm.
jump the market. Because no matter what, they're gonna pay the quarterback.
Yep.
No matter what, they're gonna pay the quarterback. And the thing about it is, you're gonna have quarterbacks like Patrick Mahomes who show
Hmm.
you take Tyreek Hill and I still win 2 Super Bowls.
Exactly.
So I think what's going to happen is it's going to start looking more like the running back position, where instead for what we can pay one wide receiver, we can get two
Hmm.
or three solid
Uh-huh.
wide receivers. And if we
Yep.
have that guy at quarterback, he's going to elevate their play anyways.
Yep. I can
So
agree with
that
that.
so that's going to show the value of a player like Stephon Diggs this year, depending on
Hmm.
how Josh Allen plays. If T. Higgins leaves, that's going to show the value of Joe Burrow. Calvin Ridley being right there now with Will Levis, like we talked about.
Hmm.
That's going to are you still the Calvin Ridley who was teamed up with Julio in Atlanta, or are you a shell of yourself now that you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So if
I
you
can
got that
agree.
guy, if you got that guy throwing the rock, it as long as you got that guy.
I can agree
But I
with
can
that, man.
I can see that position going that way as well. Because if you think
Yeah.
about it, wide receiver like T Higgins, outside of being franchise tag, was a free
Mhm.
agent. Top
Yeah.
left tackles don't hit the market. Top quarterbacks don't hit the market. Top
Mhm.
pass rushers don't hit the market. Some of these top wide receivers, they're gonna have to start hitting the market.
Yeah.
'Cause look,
You're right.
real quick, Justin Jefferson, because since we're talking about it, Justin Jefferson's contract,
Mhm.
he's not just the highest paid wide receiver, he's the highest paid non-quarterback. So
That's
what you think
crazy.
Michael he surpassed he surpassed Nick Bosa with the Niners.
Mhm.
Who you think Mike is about to try to surpass? Now he's gonna try to surpass Justin Jefferson because he
Mhm.
passed a player at my position. You don't think
Yep.
CD's gonna want to surpass Justin Jefferson?
Yep.
You're
He
not gonna be
is.
able to have the highest wide receiver, the highest defensive player, and the highest quarterback all on the
The
same team.
league's not set
Somebody's gonna
up
have to
that
go.
way.
It's not.
Yep.
It's not set up like that exactly.
Nope. And that's why I said you're right. I agree with you. I said it in another way when we were speaking specifically on Parsons. Is like some of these guys are you're gonna see eventually traded and just be traded for picks. It's like you said, we'll just build the roster up as a whole instead of having one guy. So you'll see a lot
Right.
more movement down the road in the future. One more thing to speak on the Ayuk situation. He's doing that, and it's not like they don't still have Jennings, Debo, and they just drafted a wide receiver in the first round. So you
They
playing
draft two wide
games.
receivers.
Yeah, they did draft two wide receivers. They took Pierce out in the first round. So I mean,
Not to
it's
mention, not to cut you off.
yeah, you
Not
good.
to mention, they re-signed Jennings
Yeah,
recently. They just re-signed Christian McCaffrey. So I'm
yeah.
holding out for money, and you done gave it to two more players.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. And that's the thing. They're about to face a situation that we're talking about. You
Yeah.
can't have Debo with a big contract, Kittle with a big contract,
Mm-hmm.
Christian with a big contract, Trent with a big contract, Bosa with a big
Most of a big
contract,
contract.
Fred Warner with a big
One with a big
contract,
contract.
and
Yep.
then get Ayuk with a big contract and expect that you're going to still be able to sign Brock
Fill the
Purdy.
roster. Mm-hmm. You're
Somebody,
not.
some of those players are going to have to go. Some of those
Basically,
players are going to have
this
to go.
with San Francisco, you're gonna find out eventually who was the system player and who helped contribute to the system. You know,
Right.
some of those guys are just benefiting from the system they play in.
Yep.
You know, and some of them
Completely agree.
they exceed the system. You know, they make the system go. McCaffrey's a
Yep.
player that makes that system better. So you have to, because what IU can give you, you can still get from McCaffrey the passing game. I'm not saying Ayuk isn't valuable to him, but I mean, like you said, somebody's gonna have to go. If I got this
Somebody
receiver
got
and
to
this
go.
receiver, and I just drafted one, and I got a tight end and a pass catching running back, all right, bro, we just got to ship you off. It is what it is.
and and they have multiple running backs. They have multiple
Yep.
running backs, so you can have Christian split out and still have a good running back in the backfield.
Yeah. But man, that's gonna
So,
conclude our show for today, man. We like to thank our
yes, sir.
viewers for watching. Make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. We really thank you. Make sure you
Absolutely.
tune in to D's Corner. You can catch me on the Renegade Report with George and Jen. Um, we got some other things coming down the
Tonight,
pipe.
right?
Yeah, tonight
They
at
catch you tonight, right?
7:05.
Yeah,
Yep, tonight, 7:05,
yeah.
man. I'm actually getting ready to transition shortly after we do this and finish up. But we appreciate everybody and we want to say thank you and peace out.
All right.